Hey there, beautiful bride. I'm Jillian Rosich Kendrick, founder of My Best Wedding and MyWeddingPlanningCourse.com. Welcome to this episode of Wedding Wednesday. Whether you are watching this live with me right here on Facebook Live or you are watching afterwards, I would love to hear who you are, where you're from, when your wedding date is, and just say hello if you'd like to comment below or share this out to anybody that you think can get value from it. So tonight, by request, one of my brides actually wrote into me and said, hey, is there any way that you can talk about garters? Like, should I use one? Should I even have one? I'm not sure. What is the tradition? What's it all about? And so I'm happy to do that. And if you ever have a topic that you are struggling with or a question that you have or something that you just kind of need a little bit of advice on, right? You need some encouragement, you need some advice, or you just kind of need like a direction to go in with your wedding. I'm always happy to take suggestions and get ideas for what it is that you're looking for in your wedding. And that actually, not only am I here to help you and to serve you, but that helps me to know what my brides are looking for, what it is that you gals want, and I can put better content together for you. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Wedding Wednesday. I'm so excited that you're here and we are talking about garters. Again, comment below. I love to hear where you're from and who you are. And anyone tonight who asks a question on Facebook Live will get a free My Wedding Planning Course notebook. There it is. It's beautiful. I love it. It's super simple and easy. It's tiny, so it fits like right in your purse, and you can carry all of your wedding info right here in this little notebook. I love it. And these are actually not for sale, guys. The only way that you can buy these notebooks is if you become a My Wedding Planning Course member, whether you're in the silver, platinum, or gold memberships. You get one when you sign up as a free special bonus gift from me. So you can't actually buy these. You have to become a member or you have to win one. By asking a question here on Facebook Live and commenting below. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them now and I will get to them. But like I said, by special request tonight, I had a bride write in and ask about garters. What's the tradition of garters? Why do I need one? Should I get one? Do I feel comfortable wearing a garter? Do I feel comfortable, going through that whole basically rigmarole of the garter toss ceremony, and what should I do about it? So all great questions, and I'm super excited to answer this question for my wonderful bride. So what is the tradition of the garter toss and the bouquet toss? So back like tons and tons of years ago, I can't even remember what the exact date is, but back many moons ago, it used to be a tradition that, or it wasn't even a tradition so much as it was like an old wives' tale that if you were able to like steal a piece of the dress or like rip off a piece of the bride's dress, that would actually bring you a ton of good luck. So after a wedding, people would kind of like chase the bride around trying to like literally rip a piece of her dress off. And let me tell you, that's not cool, right? Like whether you have your dress picked out or not yet, no matter what part of the wedding planning process that you're in, if my dress ripped, I would be so mad. So that's never a good thing and never ever fun, right? So people thought it was like this old wives' tale that if you could rip a piece of the dress, you would have tons and tons of good luck. It was like kissing the Blarney Stone, right? So because brides kind of caught on to this and realized, I don't want these people to rip my dress, this is not okay, I want to preserve my dress, they actually got to the point where the garter was sort of invented, so to speak, and brides would wear these garters as kind of a piece of their wedding dress to then give away to one special person, and the tradition kind of developed itself in a way and morphed into this thing that we now call the garter toss. And what it is, I'm sure everybody knows and is familiar, but just to spell it out, the garter toss is where a bride who's wearing a garter or piece of her dress really She would kind of sit in a chair in the middle of the dance floor, surrounded by all of the wedding guests, and the groom will kind of lift her dress up a little bit and or like reach his hand down in the dress and pull the garter off, because it's worn like around your leg, usually around like your thigh, kind of high a little bit, sometimes above the knee, sometimes a little higher. It just kind of depends on your preference. And the groom would remove it and then basically toss it, whether like, you know, overhand or kind of like flinging it, or however, he would then toss it to a single gentleman, and therefore he would either have good luck, or what the tradition has now become is that he will be the next, whoever catches that garter will be the next person to get married. And then likewise with the bouquet toss, right? The original old wives' tale was the exact same thing. It was, if you can steal a petal off of the bride's bouquet, or if you can steal a flower from the bride's bouquet, that will actually bring you a ton of good luck. And the bride kind of caught on to that and was like, I don't want people stealing my bouquet. I don't want people tearing it to shreds. So the bouquet toss was then kind of invented and developed as a tradition over the years and over many, many decades, for sure. So what most modern brides are doing nowadays is, rather than tossing your own bouquet, they have like a little separate bouquet, and you can either have this be fresh flowers, you can have a bouquet made out of silk flowers, you can do, you know, something different, you can have something other than a little bouquet, or you can have like a small, you can get like one of those styrofoam balls from like a Michael's Crafts or Hobby Lobby, and put a bunch of flowers in it, like it's kind of like a ball, a sphere of flowers, and you throw that sort of like a flower shape, a baseball shaped bouquet of flowers in a way. But either way, whatever it is that you choose to do, that is essentially the tradition of the garter toss and bouquet toss. That's why it was created, why it was invented in the first place, because a bunch of people thought it would bring them luck, and then through the years it's just sort of morphed into a more modern tradition. Now, as far as the garter itself goes, wedding dresses were never necessarily sold with a garter. The garter has always been a separate piece, and thank God for the internet, right? I mean, I have a business because of the internet. We all can find amazing wedding things because of the internet, and places like Etsy. When I was doing some research, there was a website called like gartersforeverybride.com, or I don't remember, but it was something like that. And there's so many different options for brides of all shapes and sizes that can get garters, and you know, in every color and every style. And there were, like, you could send them, there was an Etsy store where they will like tailor make a garter to match your dress, if you're into that. You like send them a picture of your dress and they'll make a garter, you know, from that material, or a garter to look like it matches. Or if you want to go like a more pop culture sort of route, there were brides that had like Batman and Spider-Man and Star Wars and Harry Potter, and you know, they're like garters like that. If you know, you want a Little Mermaid garter, somebody on Etsy could definitely make one, which is really cool. So you can go the traditional, so to speak, route of getting one that kind of matches your dress, or getting like a traditional white one. Just be careful though, like depending on how, if you're going to wear a garter, just be careful on like what you have on it, and try to get something that's really simple, because if you get a garter that's like super embellished and has like a lot of bling, or has like big flowers, it could snag on something, it could get in the way of your dress, it could be a pain in the butt to try and like keep this thing on your leg while you're walking down the aisle. Like the last thing you want on your wedding day is to have like a blinged out garter. You're walking down the aisle and it like slips down your leg because you're hot under this dress. So just kind of be aware of that and be conscious of the fact that you want a garter that's going to stay up and stay on you. Like, you know how when you buy a strapless bra usually has that kind of like elasticy, plastic, sort of sticky kind of material on the side of it, and that's to kind of like hold your shape and stick to your skin. Well, some garters will come with the exact same stuff. Like, some will be elasticy enough that it should hold its shape. It should hold like around your leg just by sheer friction. Or you can find one that has a little bit of material on it if you're doing like an outdoor wedding or a beach wedding, or you're getting married in the summer and you're worried about, sweating or anything like that. Or if you have like a petticoat, or you're wearing Spanx, or you're worried about like it getting snagged on something, just go for something simple, something really, really simple. The other thing to talk about when it comes to the garter toss is there are women, there's both sides of the coin, right? And I'm definitely the personality type where sometimes I can see both sides, and so it's really difficult for me to make my own decisions. But here's both sides of the garter argument, so to speak. One side is that it is a fun, entertaining, hilarious, maybe very sexy sort of way to carry on this garter tradition and have fun at your wedding. On the other side of the argument, you have women that say that it is, it's sexist, or it's objectifying, or that they don't like it. Me personally, I chose not to do a garter toss at my wedding. I chose not to wear a garter, simply because I wasn't exactly comfortable with like trying to be sexy in front of my grandmother. Just saying. There's a time, and like me personally, and this is only me, I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else, but just for me, there's a time and place for everything in life, and being sexy right then and there in front of everybody I know, for me, not the time or the place. So I chose not to wear a garter, and we chose not to do a garter toss. But if that's your thing, if you want to do that, if you want to have fun in that way, it's definitely something that you can do. Another tradition that I was reading about, not only the bit of luck as well that I was talking about in the beginning of the video, but also, this is really interesting. Back in like the olden days, the garter was considered like a version of like a chastity belt in a weird way. Not that it would like prevent anything from happening, but in that if you wore that, everybody, they knew that you were a virgin. They knew that you wore that. And so the way oh, you're welcome, Melissa. Absolutely, no problem. The way that people would look at garters and would look at the garter toss is that you have your virginity, and you and your partner have not consummated your marriage yet, and that when he goes to remove the garter, that is a symbolic way of showing that you have consummated your marriage. There's a lot more history with it, like being a thing, and there's a lot more. Just if you want to waste hours of your life, go ahead and read that, but I'm just telling you, it's boring. So the garter is also a symbolism of purity and of chastity, and the way that you would sort of symbolically show that you've consummated your marriage is by removal of that garter and then tossing it to someone else. Would be, for luck, or for who's the next person that's going to get married, or whatever the case may be. So again, if you want to incorporate that into your wedding, like if that's you, if that's what you want to do, if you like, I was reading through some of the garter stuff, and I even found one website that was talking about like all of the music suggestions of like Sir Mix-a-Lot and all of this like music that you can play while you're doing this garter toss ceremony. And it's entirely up to you. If you want it to be like a consummation, purity, chastity sort of thing that's really, really serious, you can make it that. If you want it to be this like fun, quirky, sexy sort of thing, you can make it that. If you want it to be this like goofy, weird, like I'm really uncomfortable and I'm getting embarrassed in front of everyone that I know, you can make it that. I personally, again, that just wasn't me. I don't like being the center of attention, so I did not want to do any of that. But you can make it what you want it to be, and you can make it your own. Like if you and there are different ways that the guy can go about grabbing the garter, if that makes sense. And you should talk about this. You don't have to necessarily practice it because you may or may not want your fiance to see you in your wedding dress prior to the wedding, but you can talk about and have a game plan for how it's going to happen. Like I went to one wedding and the guy literally like took the entire skirt and like put it up over himself and was like basically up in her skirt with like no air, searching for this garter. And it was fun and sexy and cute and it was adorable for that particular couple. It was great. There was another couple where the bride basically like grabbed her skirt and pulled it up, would like grab her skirt and like pull it up over her leg to kind of reveal the garter sitting there. And that was the way that he then grabbed it, pulled it, you know, lifted up her leg, kind of pulled it down her leg, and then tossed it out to his friends. There's all sorts of ways that you can do it. So you can do it the sexy route, you can go the goofy route, you can go the silly route, you can go the I'm going to embarrass myself in front of the free world sort of route. But it's entirely up to you. And so I would suggest if you want to do the garter toss and that's something that appeals to you, definitely just talk to your fiance and have a game plan for exactly how you're going to do that. And, you know, if you want him to struggle and you want to watch him try to figure it out, then don't communicate. That's okay. Or if you want him to like specifically do something, maybe practice it or try it, or, you know, to communicate and just talk about what it is that you want to do. If you want to give him kind of a heads up, you can let him know which leg it's going to be on. More typically than not, if you would like to know, the garter will go on the left leg, same as your wedding ring gets worn on the left hand. So the garter goes on the left leg if that's what you're going to do. So I haven't seen anybody asking any questions, but Melissa, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to cover this topic for you. And again, any other topics, whether you're watching live right now or you're watching at a later date, any topics that you need help with, need advice with, need a little bit of direction with, please feel free to comment or message me or ask any questions that you might have. And I'm just super thrilled to be wrapping up all of the membership stuff for my website, and we'll be launching that. I was trying to do it by the end of the month. Thanks, Natasha. But I wasn't quite able to do that because my hubby and I went on vacation last week, a much needed vacation. But if there's anything that I can help you with, or you need ideas for topics or different things, please feel free to message me, send me a private message, or ask a question right here in the comments. And then I will see you all next week right here on Facebook Live for Wedding Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you ladies have a wonderful week with your wedding planning, and you're just thoroughly enjoying this amazing time in your life. And I am so truly blessed to be a part of it and be along for your journey with you. So have an amazing week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.